Hi, everyone. Have you ever wondered to yourself or thought, why does it seem so unfair? You might have watched somebody receive something that you worked hard for and thought, that's not fair. Or maybe somebody got the opportunity that you wanted, someone else received the recognition, someone seemed to get ahead without working nearly as hard as you did. If we're honest, maybe that person's blessing can make us question our own. And that's exactly what Jesus is referring to in today's gospel. He tells the story of workers that are hired throughout the day. Some work from the early morning and others arrive later. When the day ends, though, they all receive the same pay. So the workers that were there all day are upset. They're saying, we worked all day. Why should they receive the same? And honestly, that sounds logical. It doesn't seem fair. But Jesus isn't really giving us a lesson about wages. He's telling us about our hearts. Sometimes we don't just want God's blessings, we want to decide who deserves them. We look at someone else's life and think, why did they get that? I've worked harder. I've waited longer. But Jesus reminds us that God's generosity is not a competition. His goodness towards someone else doesn't mean that there's less goodness available for us. Think about that for a moment. Someone else's answered prayer doesn't mean God forgot yours. Someone else's success doesn't make your life less valuable. Someone else's blessing doesn't take away what God has already blessed us with. Comparison may lead to resentment, and that can rob us of our gratitude. So maybe today, Jesus is inviting us to not keep score, to not measure our lives against someone else's, but just to trust God's goodness. Because the kingdom of God isn't about getting exactly what we think we deserve. It's about receiving the generosity of God the Father who loves us, even if we don't understand his timing. Even when someone else's blessing might be difficult for us to celebrate. So the next time you find yourself thinking, it's not fair, try and pause for a moment and ask, can I trust God to be good to me, even when I don't understand what he's doing for someone else? If you want to kind of sit with this later on when you have some time, I put some reflection questions in the description. Where am I comparing my life to someone else's? And is someone else's blessing making it harder for me to see my own? Can I trust God's goodness even when I don't understand his timing? Thank you for joining me, and I hope that we all can release the comparisons, celebrate God, and trust that he's generous to all of us. I hope you have a great day.